Hello everyone, I am Just Jules. Welcome to my channel. I just want to let you guys know, pardon me, that this series that I'm working on right now is not monetized. This channel is not monetized, and these videos about human rights and human trafficking prevention will be free and available to any and everyone. So the whole point is to educate. It's not about making money. So, in the off chance that my channel does become monetized, these specific videos, I haven't figured it out yet because I am not at that point, will not be monetized. Because my goal is to spread awareness. My goal is to instruct and give a different perspective. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about Article 1, the right to equality, and Article 2, the freedom from discrimination from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Now, the right to equality under the EEOC, under laws enforced by EEOC, it is illegal to discriminate against someone, applicant or employee, because of that person's race, color, religion, sex, including gender identity, sexual orientation, and pregnancy, national origin, age, 40 and older, disability, or genetic information. Nobody can use that information as a basis to discriminate under the equal opportunity. Now, when I was perusing the internets, I ran across, because I was wanted to get the exact definitions for everyone so you didn't have to run around and find it. I ran across an article, and I've got the link, actually several of links that I will be putting either in the description box or the comment section after this uploads. So there will be multiple different references and links from where I got the information that I'm providing for you guys today and any future reading that you care to do. Now, what caught me was the Equal Rights Amendment to the U.S. Constitution that's up on the table. It's ERA. And that would invalidate many state and federal laws that discriminate against women. And the baseline, there's more to it than just this, is that sex should not determine the legal rights of men and women. So, and by sex, they, whether it's gender identity, whether it's women, but the flip side of this is that women might not be covered under things like such as like the draft if this goes through. So there's like good aspects of it where women who work in the same, field for the same in the same job as a man will be able to make as much as a man in that field, in that job, because the whole point is equality. But there are several concessions that are given to us as women, such as we're not drafted. So that's on the table right now. And when it comes to discrimination, Article 2, Freedom from Discrimination. Freedom discrimination is, oh my goodness, it's such a huge topic in this world, and it's rampant everywhere. No matter where we look, there's discrimination. The Oxford Dictionary defines discrimination as the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people, especially on the grounds of ethnicity, age, sex, or disability. The legal definition of discrimination is when a person is treated disfavorably or when a person's dignity has been violated. The Cambridge Dictionary defines discrimination as the treatment of a person or a particular group of people differently in a way that is worse than the way people are usually treated. Now, the U.S. Constitution aims to ensure that all people have equal rights and respect. 14th Amendment is covered under civil rights. 5th Amendment Due Process Clause, which requires the federal government to practice equal protection. Everybody's protected. That's actually notes from the previous what I just said. But discrimination, that is such a hard topic to talk about, because there are people who have been discriminated against all of their life. All of their life. From the time, whether it's in their neighborhood, whether it's, there's like a guy, I grew up in Howell, Michigan. It's, in Michigan, it's like right around there. And in Howell, during middle school, there was only one black dude in the entire school. Just one black dude. He was cool too. He was a really nice guy. And I'll never forget it, 7th grade. He came to school and the kid was beat bloody. Beat bloody. And I remember the look on his face, because we had a class together. And he was wearing a baseball cap. And his eyes were covered with his baseball hat. His eyes were puffy and black and blue, and his nose was swollen, his lip was busted. And I watched him walk into the classroom, and he just sat down quietly at his seat. And everybody knew why he was beat up. And I will never forget it for as long as I live. Seeing that kid beat bloody just because he was a black kid in an only white school. There are people who live in areas where they're the minority, where they're looked upon as different and, less than, subhuman, just because something is different about them in that geographical area, or even in their life, in their workplace, just because they're different. And those differences vary so much across all of us. We're all different. Yes, we have the categories and our particular demographics we fall under. But there are so many more similarities and so much more that we can learn from each other if we just sit back and we learn. Racism bothers me. I actually hate racist jokes. I don't think they're funny. Some people would say, well, you don't have a sense of humor. Well, my sense of humor can be sarcastic and stuff, but when I hear a racist joke, it makes my skin crawl. It makes me sick to my stomach. And it reminds me of that kid I went to school with that got beat up. How he would feel if those jokes were said around him. Doesn't matter if the beatdown happened yesterday or 10 years from now. That shit has a strong, long-lasting effect on people. It shapes so much of their world because they're judged based on a certain aspect that is unchanging, such as your culture, your heritage, your genetics, your religion, if you, or in your choice whether or not to believe one way or the other. Your skin color. Yeah, sure, you can buy fillers. Yeah, sure, you can get, you know, what else do they, bleaching, you know, whatever. It still does not change your genetics. It doesn't change your heritage, and everyone should be proud of where they came from. I'll tell you a story now, which is going to lead to another thing I'm going to tell you guys about. So, when I was in 8th grade, I had a pen pal in Spain. She was cool as hell. Cool as hell. And then I ran across, sorry. Ran across, I got something in the mail, and it was called International Pen Friends. It was this business. I mean, I love writing, and, oh, got hair in my mouth, sorry. I love writing, and I always loved writing notes to my friends during school. And we would all, trade notes and stuff in between classes. And I was taking Spanish. I think I was a freshman, actually. I was in a Spanish class, and the girl was from Spain. Cool as hell. And anyways, and I ran across this business, International Pen Friends. And I ended up signing up for it. Now, from 8th grade, or 9th grade rather, all the way up until well past high school, I had a pen pal. Let's see here. Let's go through the list. Canada. I had one. France. Spain. Where else? Germany. The Netherlands. Belgium. Albania. Italy. I think I had one in Russia. Or was it Lithuania? I can't remember. Egypt. Tanzania. Myanmar. India. Let's see here. The Philippines, Argentina, Peru, Chile, if I'm not mistaken. Just England. Everywhere. And I loved it. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Why? It just, I got excited every time I'd go to the mailbox. There would be, a letter from somebody and a picture, and just they would tell me about their lives, their background, what their parents did, the area they lived in, their cultural background, their traditions, family traditions, and whatnot. And it was just the coolest thing. And I loved it. And I kept in touch with many of them throughout the years, but there's only one that I am still connected to this day. And I'm not going to say her name out loud because people catch hell if they find out they're connected to me in any way, shape, or form. And I don't want to give her, I don't want to make any trouble for her. But I appreciate you. You know who you are. I appreciate you very much. And the cool thing about having that honor of getting to know all these different people from all these different walks of life. And this was before the trauma and, the crap that I went through, actually during it and stuff, because, my formative years weren't exactly easy. But it was amazing getting to know all these different people, getting to know their differences, and at the same time getting to know how similar we all are. And we would find common ground. And from that experience of learning about these different individuals and these different cultures, is that I was able to take a step back. I lost that ability for a while because of what I've been through. But just remembering all of that learning experience of being connected to these individuals and getting to know them, it really opened my eyes to how similar we are and how I can apply this learning experience to all, my areas of my life, which is why I got into communications and multicultural literature, because, different cultures' literature is absolutely fascinating. It's part of our history too. And it made me appreciate how different we are and how much we can learn from each other if we put aside the biases, if we put aside our differences. And what I took with me was the ability to try to find common ground. How can I see from this person's perspective? How can I learn from this individual? What can I learn from this individual? What can I learn from the circumstances? Where are we similar? How are we similar? Is it a hobby? Is it geographical location? Is it, well, did I say hobby? Is it a job? It's easy because you just talk to people, you ask them questions. And I think that's the sad part, honestly, about social media, is that I miss writing letters, handwriting letters. We've become a society so much that we're invested in instant gratification, both in our communication, as much as a blessing it has been to be able to be more exposed, I guess, to different cultures and different, backgrounds, different people. It also cheats us out of that closeness, that human connection of writing the letters. It's something that I miss and something that I enjoy. And I always tried to find the common ground. When I look at somebody, I don't immediately look for their differences or where I can find fault. I look at what can I learn about those differences. And sometimes those lessons are hard. Sometimes it takes me a while. Other times it comes a little bit quicker. There is still so much that I don't know. But I don't mind learning. And I don't mind sharing what I know. I'm happy to. Especially when it comes to subjects such as these. We focus so much on how we're different that we forget how similar we are. And I guess, just like the silver lining I try to find in people, I always try to find that part that I can either learn from the individual and sit and listen to what they have to say, or find something that we can connect on, that we can talk about, things that we have in common. So, anyways, that's completely far off the topic. Well, not really. It's just exposing yourself to different people, and even to people that you don't agree with, and even people that you know don't like you. Sometimes it's hard sitting through things when you're hearing somebody talking negative about you. It's hard to stomach. And it's hard to see. And I know there are very few people, I think, in this world who haven't been touched, at least in some way, when it comes to discrimination. If you haven't, you either have experienced it all your life, from day one. If you have seen it in passing, as it's happening, or after the fact, like I did in 7th grade. You know someone who's been discriminated against. You know the effect it had on them, on their mind, on their heart. You've seen the long-lasting damages that it's caused groups of people. The long fight they've had to, the long war they've had to wage against it, just to be treated with dignity and respect. And not just because they were born in a certain area, or they were born with a certain color skin, or whatever difference that is perceived that would cause people to treat another person differently because of it. Or you have seen it on the news, the riots. People getting killed every damn day. Or you just hear it on the news. And it gets to you. And you don't understand until you realize it's because of ignorance. There are times that I've been ignorant. There are times that I spoke out of line. But when I look at a person, I admire the differences. I think accents are cool. Some of y'all, your skin tone is absolutely stunning. Some of you, your eyes are just animated and gorgeous. There is like pictures of the most beautiful skin colors. And there are people out there with skin so dark, it has like a bluish hue to it, and it is so freaking pretty. It is so freaking pretty. It is beautiful. Some of you, actually all of you, have interesting backgrounds and cultures and so much that is worthy of being admired for and worthy of learning more about. And that's where I had a leg up on a lot of people. It's because of my early exposure to different cultures in my life. Direct. Yes, it was through the mail, but it was direct communication from me to them and them to me. I got to know them. as well as their culture and their heritage in their country. And I am grateful for that experience. But not many people are exposed to such things. Many people have the opportunity to travel a lot. So you see all these cultures and stuff firsthand, and that is so cool. You got a leg up on me. I think that's wicked cool, and I'm happy for you. And there's some of you who, you know, have online friends, or you game with people across the world. That's one of the benefits about all this. Is all the different people that you can meet, different concepts, new ideas. So much can be learned if we put aside differences. And that's something that's said over and over and over again, to the point where it's become redundant, but we have to keep that in mind. It needs to sink in. So, in the description box and in the comment section, I will have a link to apparently International Pen Friends is still up and running. I'm actually surprised. So take a look at that. Maybe make yourself a friend. I might consider it again. It's been a while, but again, these videos will not be monetized. This is for everyone. And y'all be safe out there. Watch each other's backs. Be respectful. Something I need to be reminded of myself sometimes. Take care. See you in the next one.